Hello everyone, our lesson for today is all about import and export requirements. So in this topic, I will be discussing about registration for importers and exporters in the Philippines and required documents, tariffs and taxes, free trade agreement. So the Philippines is an archipelago comprising of 7,641 islands, and our country shares maritime borders with China, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the island nation of Palau. In 2015, the Philippines exported goods valued at 77.9 billion US dollars and imported products worth 76.8 billion US dollars. The Philippines' top export destinations are China, Japan, the United States and Singapore, and the country's top import partners are China, Japan, Korea, the United States, and Thailand. So in this video, I will explain the best practices for importing into and exporting out of the Philippines. So these are the registration requirements for importers. To register as an importer, businesses first need an import clearance certificate from the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and then importers register with the Bureau of Customs and set up the account with the Client Profile Registration System, or CPRS. The import clearance certificate is valid for 3 years, while the Customs Client Profile accreditation must be updated annually. The CPRS accreditation costs around 1,000 pesos or 20 US dollars and typically takes 15 working days to process. Now let's go to the registration requirements for exporters. For first-time exporters, you must need to register with the CPRS through the Philippine Exporters Confederation. As with importers, the CPRS accreditation must be renewed annually, cost 1,000 pesos and takes approximately 15 business days. For certain types of exporters, the Philippines requires additional registration, and then, for instance, coffee exporters must register with the Export Marketing Bureau. Exporters operating out of a special economic zone must register with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, or PEZA, while companies exporting out of Freeport zones must register with a specific freeport. So once registered, exporters will receive a unique registration number necessary for all export activities. Now, these are the required documents for importers. So, as businesses importing into the Philippines, you must provide the following documents when your goods arrive in our country. So, these are the packing list, invoice, bill of lading, import permit, customs import declaration, and certificate of origin. So additional documents for certain imports may be required. Then importers bringing in animals, plants, foodstuff, medicine, or chemicals must additionally obtain a certificate of product of registration from the Philippines Food and Drug Administration. And then this is what a bill of lading looks like, and it is a required document to move a freight shipment. And then the bill of lading works as a receipt of freight services, a contract between a freight carrier and shipper, and a document of title. The bill of lading is a document or a legally binding document providing the driver and the carrier all the details needed to process the freight shipment and invoice it correctly. So according to Freight Code by C.H. Robinson, it can improve the efficiency of your business by automatically creating bills of lading during the quoting and booking process. The bill of lading should be provided to the courier on pickup as well as attached to the package freight. Now let's go to the exporters. These are the required documents. So businesses exporting out of the Philippines must provide the following documents before their goods depart. So it's almost the same as the required documents for importers. So these are the packing list, invoice, bill of lading, export license, customs export declaration, and certificate of origin. For additional documents for certain products, government required permission to the exported products. So on your screen is a detailed list of products requiring additional permission as well as the government concerned agencies. So for example, endangered species of flora and fauna, you need to go to the Bureau of Biodiversity and Management. Then for animals and animal products, you have to go to the Bureau of Animal Industry. Then if you are exporting fish and fish products, you need to get a permit from the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. And for plants, Bureau of Plant Industry. Then for rice, you need to get a permit from the National Food Authority. And if you have radioactive materials, you need to get a permit from the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute. And for sugar molasses, you have to get a permit from the Sugar Regulatory Administration. Now let's proceed to the tariffs and taxes. The Philippines follows the United Nations Standard International Trade Classification or SITC. So import tariffs can range from 0 to 65%, and then imported goods in sectors which has higher domestic production typically incur higher tariffs. So for non-agricultural goods, tariffs average at 6.7%. The Philippines Tariff Commission has launched a tariff finder web portal to help importers, which can be accessed online. So the Philippines Customs apply a value-added tax for imported goods at 12%, or also known as 12% VAT. The Philippines Customs levy no tariff on tax for goods worth less than 10,000 pesos or $200. So the only exported good which incur a tariff are logs at 20%. So businesses operating in special economic zone or free port zones are exempted from paying taxes and tariffs on imported raw material and manufacturing equipment, as stipulated in the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act of 2015. The main SEZ or Special Economic Zone in the Philippines include Clark Freeport Zone, the Poro Point Freeport Zone, then John Hay Special Economic Zone, Subic Bay Freeport Zone, Cagayan Special Economic Zone, Zamboanga City Special Economic Zone, and Freeport area of Bataan. So in this area, now let's proceed to Free Trade Agreement. Philippines is a member of 6 regional free trade agreements or FTAs, as well as bilateral FTA with Japan. As a member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN, the Philippines is naturally a participant in the ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement or ATIGA. The country enjoys significantly reduced tariff rates within ASEAN, through some tariff lines on sensitive food products still remain. The Philippines, by virtue of its membership in ASEAN, is also a party to the 5 FTAs that ASEAN has signed with the following countries or group of countries. So it's like Australia, New Zealand, China, India, Japan, and Korea. So the Philippines is a dynamic and strategic trading location. As the country continues to comply with the ASEAN-wide economic integration, opportunities for both importers and exporters will continue to grow. Utilizing experts with up-to-date local knowledge can help exporters and importers to not only avoid customs-related delays and frustrations, but also ensure import and export activity occurs quickly and remains profitable. Local experts at Lizan Jura and Associates possess years of experience supporting the establishment and growth of businesses across ASEAN and are well situated to guide companies through the Philippines' constantly evolving regulatory landscape. So you can also read this on this website at asianbriefing.com. So this is the end of our lesson. Have a good day, everyone.